wrote about critical thinking, and can anybody give me a definition of critical thinking?
No.
I'll provide one for you. So,
Jake had his hand up back here.
Alright, so you guys wake up in the morning and look outside, and it's like you can't tell if it's cold or warm out, so like maybe you look on your iPhone and check out the weather, and finally you decide like what to wear. Like if it's cold out, if it's warm out, so you wear a sweatshirt, which wasn't the best idea because it's really hot outside right now. But you wear a sweatshirt. That's critical thinking right there. Like you're just deciding what clothes to wear or put on, anything like that. Just deciding what clothes to wear, anything, what you eat for breakfast, stuff like that. So this definition is kind of long, but I wanted to read it to you guys because it's very in-depth. The intellectually disciplined process of actively and skillfully conceptualizing, applying, analyzing, synthesizing, and/or evaluating information gathered from or generated by observation, experience, reflection, reasoning, or communication as a guide to belief and action. That's what critical thinking is. And that was taken from the Critical Thinking community website. So basically, I wrote the introduction to our critical thinking, and I basically just like planned out what the whole essay was going to be about. While they got more in depth, Summer and Amanda in the body paragraphs, like with the different steps of critical thinking.
So basically, my role in this was I did the two first steps of critical thinking, and the first step was collecting information. Collecting information is basically the foundation of critical thinking, because if you don't have valid and, I guess, legit information, then you can't form a true opinion. So collecting information is probably the biggest step. Without gathering information, our critical narratives, for example, you know, we all wrote those critical narratives. If we hadn't have collected the information about ourselves, maybe our narratives wouldn't have really been true, and it probably would have been a jumbled mess. Also, like he said, we use the example of waking up in the morning. When you wake up, you take into consideration how you're feeling, what the weather's like, do you have any special occasions going on that day, and then you take that, and that moves on to the next step, which is evaluating data. And basically, that is, you know, so you can try and make a good decision on what you're going to wear, if that makes any sense. So, yeah. The next step, evaluating data. Yeah, but evaluating data, with the close example, if it's humid outside or if it's hot and rainy, you don't want to wear something to where, like, you don't want to wear layers and a jacket, because then you might get too hot. So you kind of just bring an umbrella. Sorry. And another example about what we can all relate to, when Stephanie sent out the email for some supplies that we were supposed to bring, we were all just kind of like, why do we need this foil tape? Or why do we need these LED lights? Well, you evaluate that our book is The Art of Tinkering, and our she's requesting us to get these supplies, and you can evaluate and conclude that we're probably going to be doing some artsy stuff. So.
So the next step is basically just concluding. So after you found all this information and you evaluated the information that you found, the next step is to make conclusions based on that. And so that's kind of what Amanda was going into about after we had all the different clues, which would be the information that we collected. Okay, we have to bring this, we have to bring that, and then our book is this. Then we conclude that, okay, we're going to do some arts and crafts in the class. And another example would be basically something as simple as having a conversation with someone. If someone asks you for a favor, and you were kind of wondering why do they ask me? Do they think they can take advantage of me, or are they just, do they think they can trust me or something like that? And basically in critical thinking, you go from like, okay, maybe they're doing this, maybe they're doing that, and when you're able to think critically, you're able to think of several different things at one time, and your conclusion might be, okay, they trust me, or if your conclusion is, okay, they think they can take advantage of me. Basically, when you kind of want to question that conclusion, because when you're thinking critically, you don't just assume something. You're saying, why did I decide that they are taking advantage of me? Maybe I'm more of a judgmental person or something like that. So after drawing conclusions, we went into why, or the importance of critical writing or critical thinking in your writing. And basically we decided that without critical thinking, you have no depth to your writing. It's just,
There's no meaning behind it.
right. So it's like, if you just write in our critical narratives, the whole purpose was, if we just gave like a bio of ourselves, that doesn't really say anything, but we took that bio and said, okay, I'm from here, I'm from this has made me who I am because of this and because of that. So, yeah, I guess we'll talk about that. Yeah. Okay, so that's that. It's a little, it's tiny. It's a brain, because obviously when you're thinking, you have to use like,
There's a question mark, you can't see it, there's a question mark on the,
right.
on the head.
Because there's a lot, when you're thinking critically, you ask a lot of questions to yourself and about different people's works when you're writing. So in order to receive the badge, you basically just choose something that you've written or created, and you explain why it's using critical thinking, and then you just submit it to us.
We will decide whether you're
If
worthy.
it's critical thinking.